did you have anything to drink tonight?
No.
Okay. All right, so we have to leave the property right now, okay?
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
He hit a cruiser. He hit a cruiser. Ran multiple cruisers.
I'm suing the pants off you. I heard you the first time.
When law enforcement responds to a call, they never know exactly what they're going to encounter. From screaming, uncooperative detainees to suspects using their cars as weapons to bad info leading to the arrest of the wrong person, we're going to take a closer look at 5 police body cams that prove anything can happen. Welcome to a special crossover Morgan & Morgan and Law&Crime edition of Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, I would imagine that boring days are maybe few and far between for most law enforcement agencies, right? You have to be ready for whatever might happen, while handling it, of course, in a professional, legal way. But videos from many police encounters show things can get pretty wild pretty fast. So to go through this, I have a special guest with me on this special edition of Sidebar and Morgan & Morgan. Who better than Dan Morgan, managing partner for the powerhouse law firm of Morgan & Morgan. Good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
So again, I have to tell you, I think we don't appreciate what police officers do day in and day out. Have you ever represented police officers ever? I mean, understanding what their day-to-day is like, again, is just incredible.
Oh, I've represented police officers and off-duty cops that have been in accidents, obviously, but I've represented officers that have been, at a stoplight and boomed back by a truck, rear-ended them as well too. Not the person you want to rear-end as a police officer, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, they're day in, day out, the stuff that they're doing, the stuff that they're dealing with and having to deal with on the benefit of us is really something else.
It's like that Larry David episode when he honked a police officer. You can't honk a police officer. All right, so let's begin now in Bergen County, New Jersey. So it's July 15th, 2024, just after 10 p.m., and police are responding to a disturbance at a movie theater.
She skipped the line, and we asked her to go back in line and wait with everybody else.
For the concession?
Yeah, and then she grabbed the POS and started shaking it. It's one of our other managers.
Do you want her out?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want her off mall property?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you want her banned? Yeah, right. Okay.
It's her,
and then
another guest, and a dog.
Yeah.
So it's 3. Where's the other guest?
He's currently in
the 2 are in the
IMAX.
IMAX theater. And then she's outside. You want him out too?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, so
she just went.
Let's deal with her first. Yes. And you know where?
Yeah.
Where?
Towards the front of the.
Okay, so let's deal with her first. Excuse me, ma'am. Hi, how are you? I'm Officer Gray with Promise Police Department. You got to come outside with me, okay? Yeah, they want you to leave the property. You okay? You're right, because your eyes are a little loopy.
How are your eyes?
My eyes are fine. Is this how you normally are? Even
Yes.
having anything to drink tonight?
I'm looking in your eyes directly.
Okay. And then I'm asking you, did you have anything to drink tonight?
No.
Okay. All right, so we have to leave the property right now, okay?
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, so this is how it's going to go, right? I asked you twice now to leave, right?
Right.
You are being banned from the Garden State Plaza. If you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. Okay? So I'm going to give you one more shot. I'll give you 10 seconds to walk out with us, or you're going to get arrested.
Get the ban from GSP.
Okay, here he is right now. So you want to turn and look?
Let me call my husband.
No. Turn and
He's a
look.
police officer.
Okay, call him. I would
Let
love
me
to
call
talk.
him.
I would love to talk to him right now.
Let's do that.
I would love to talk to him.
Is he here?
Don't worry about that.
Okay, ma'am, look at him. He's going to ban you, okay? And can one of you guys come over here? Yeah. All right, you don't even know his phone number.
No, how about you get away from me?
Okay, right. You want to get banned?
I don't.
Here's
I
Garden State
pray
Plaza.
to God, I don't want to argue with you.
Just say it out loud to her. And then you
I
want
don't
her
want to
banned, right?
argue with you.
All right, so just
How
look at her
about
and
you
tell
guys
her.
back away from me? I call who I have to
So
call.
just tell her.
You do your business. Yes. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, please get away from
Ma'am,
me.
can you listen?
get away from me because you said he doesn't know who to call.
No,
Back away.
you said you're calling your husband.
You don't know who to call.
That's it. You're
Oh God, Lord,
You're not going to put your hands in my face.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands, please. Stop resisting. Just stop. Put your hands behind your back. Come on.
I can't breathe.
Put your hands 1, 2, up.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Stand up, stand up.
Yep. Come on, stand up.
Stand up, stand up. Stand up.
Come on. There you go.
All right, it didn't have to go down like that.
No, it didn't.
Stop. What are you doing?
Hands off me.
Doing?
Put your hands on me.
You know, you got another charge on you.
That's
for assaulting a
fine.
police officer.
That's
there you
fine.
go. Bro, 7. I'm gonna get more guys here.
Stand up.
Well, police would later identify the woman you see there as LaDonna Nathan, and it turns out she was at the theater with her brother who has special needs, and separate officers were able to keep him away from the chaos that was happening at that concession stand.
Hey there, everybody. So I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this episode of Sidebar. Always love talking about them. Now, here is the incredible thing about Morgan & Morgan, and one of the reasons why I like talking about them so much.
Hey, say something about our big wins.
You're not supposed to come on camera. The reason Morgan & Morgan, America's largest personal injury law firm, is so big, and I'm sure you can guess it, is because they win a lot. And that's
Don't forget huge verdicts.
Yeah, they've won big verdicts. $6.8 million in New York, $26 million in Philadelphia. You see, the thing about them is they don't settle for lowball insurance offers from insurance companies, which is something.
Mention that you can submit a claim from your couch at home and on your phone.
Dan, they've completely modernized the process by submitting your claim, talking to your legal team. It's all done straight from your smartphone. Again, that's something
With
that
8 clicks, 8 clicks or less.
8 clicks or less. Yes. You can see if you have a case in just a few minutes.
1,000 lawyers. We have over 1,000 lawyers.
All right.
now.
You know what, Dan? If you really think you can do better, maybe you should just do it yourself.
What Jesse was getting at is if you've ever been injured in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. You can submit a claim in 8 clicks or less. To start your claim, just visit forthepeople.com/LC Sidebar.
You came a little too close to me. It hurt me a little bit. I'm probably actually going to have to hire you guys now, but that was well said. That was well said.
Dan, you know, look, we've talked about it before. Even if you feel like you didn't do anything wrong, you got to listen to police, right?
They gave her every chance in the world. They said, we told you 3 times, we're going to tell you, we're going to give you 10 more seconds, just leave and we're not going to arrest you. And then she just thought, that's not fair, I'm not listening to you. You know, it's a lot of the time it's just that kind of the person is just defiant to any type of, opposition or any type of supremacy that, no, you're not telling me to do anything, I'm going to tell you what to do, just because they think that they're entitled to have that demeanor. Well, no, you're on somebody's business, they've now trespassed you, now you have to leave. You're not in a public park, you're not on the sidewalk, you have to leave. And they say no, that's what happens.
And I think the body cam was so important because you see her reaching out into the officer and then also falling on the ground. So it's hard for her to argue, something else.
She did have, I kind of saw with the officer, she did have a little bit of a loopy look in her eye too. That in her actions didn't seem like it was all very normal. She had a police officer husband, apparently. He couldn't find his phone number. So I think
hate it when that happens, right?
Something else to that story that maybe we don't know, but yeah, definitely she was in the wrong there.
So let's see what happens next.
Get the off me! Get the off me! Because you don't know who the
you calm down?
Mind your business!
Okay, just spit on
Who you talking to?
Can you just
No, leave me alone! Don't say sit to me!
They're at their desk, that's the problem.
I'm gonna get myself up!
No.
Don't
Okay, then we're gonna walk out.
No! Don't put your hands on me! Don't say
Stay seated then.
Don't do nothing!
By the way, I should tell you that Nathan reportedly bit one of the officers as they struggled to get her off the floor and into custody. Yeah. So they finally are able to get her loaded into an ambulance, but she's not the only one who has to get checked out.
So I gotta go to the hospital.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go because you gotta get it broke skin now.
Oh.
So yeah, you gotta get like the tetanus shot and all that stuff.
You gotta go on the.
You're gonna be an injured person report. Yep, the whole thing. You have to. That one bit skin. Broke skin. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's teeth marks in there. Blood. I see.
Yeah. They might have to photograph that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to photograph.
Goes back to that. Look what they have to deal with day in and day out.
You're dealing with 30, 40-year-old woman that's acting like a 3-year-old.
a vampire.
Exactly.
Allegedly biting them. All right, so Nathan, she finally makes it to the police station. She's put in a holding cell. And remember I mentioned her brother. Well, officers make sure that her brother gets there safely too, and a family member comes to pick him up. Now, despite all this pandemonium at the movie theater, Nathan is still confused about why she has to go to jail.
What are the charges? Aggravated assault on a police officer.
Aggravated assault on a police
You
officer?
spit on a police officer. You kicked the police officer.
When did I
you bit
spit on the
police
cop?
officer.
Hold
I'm just
it.
telling you. Shows with the charge.
You can step out, all right?
When did I spit on a police officer?
It's on camera,
Put
man.
your shoes on. Everything's caught on camera.
Don't touch me, please. Please let me go.
Stand over here.
So when they get her to the jail, she's actually sort of respectful for the most part. She answers the intake officer's questions, more or less. But when she sees the paperwork with information about her charges, she erupts again.
I don't even know why I'm here, so take your pick, whatever makes you feel better today.
Give me a copy of your charges. Now you know why you're here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You can hold on to those.
Thank you.
I get a badge number for the transport?
491.
Thank you.
I would never put my hand on a police officer. Never.
Your left thumb on that scanner, please, right there, right where you're leaning. Keep pressing your left thumb.
I'm not doing that, sir.
All right, you know we're fingerprinting when you come inside, right? One way or another.
I never put my hand on a police officer. I don't do stuff like that.
Man, this is how we're going to let you go tomorrow, because we're going to...
Sir, I have clinicals in the morning. I'm a nursing student. I would never put my hand on a police officer.
We're not here to argue with you.
My ex-husband is a police officer. I never put my hand on a cop.
Okay, did I arrest you? No. So
No,
I'm asking
you
a
won't
question.
lie on me. You won't lie on me as a black woman. No, 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 no.
Good luck with your clinicals that you're missing tomorrow.
God bless you too, sir.
No, 6-6.
That's fine. I'm going to where I gotta go. But I don't touch police officers for that reason.
All right, step in there,
because
pump
you
the
lie. That's fine. Thank you.
She might not have believed that she put her hands on a police officer, but a grand jury did because they indicted her earlier this month on a charge of aggravated assault on a police officer. She's due back in court in January. And by the way, she's also facing a DUI charge from back in September in municipal court. Final thoughts before we move on?
She might not have put hands on him, but she put some teeth on him. You got bite marks and some blood to prove it, DNA. I mean, I think there had to be something going on that maybe we don't know, some type, I don't want to say mental break, but it was not a, I don't want to speak bad about her, but that was not a sane person we were watching.
Not a reasonable reaction, as we say under the law. All right, next up, we're in Weymouth, Massachusetts, and a man there got away from officers by using his car as a weapon. Yeah, so it was a Sunday afternoon in September of 2024. Police responded to a laundromat because they got a report that someone was acting erratically. Officers later identified the man as Jeff Joza, and they said that he left the laundromat, gone to a nearby convenience store where they caught up with him. But when officers tried to talk to Joza, he took off.
Wait, he just got in the car. Shut the car off. Shut the car off.
Hey,
Relax,
hey,
relax.
Hey, hey!
More you. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. He just hit another cruiser.
Yikes. I mean, this is, it felt like Grand Theft Auto, but this is real life.
I don't know what's going through, like that first impact, you got to be thinking, I'm done. So just do it again, I guess. Like,
for the record, you haven't seen these videos. I was looking at your reaction, like your jaw was on the floor watching that.
I'm just putting my eyes like, what? How could someone think like this is I'm getting out of here, and that car windows down, see ya.
I don't know, but I will tell you that there's these body cams from several responding officers, and they show this suspect again repeatedly slamming into police cruisers.
Get the out of the car! He hit a cruiser. We have multiple cruisers. Get out of the car! Get the out of the car!
All units down to 69 Wall Street.
Get out of the car! Get out of the car now! Move!
And then there is another dashboard cam that picks up the suspect speeding across the parking lot where he jumps a curb to get back on the street.
Last unit, could you go again?
He hit a cruiser. Clear the...
All units down to 69 Wall Street.
I don't think he could say it was an accident.
Oh no, he's lucky he didn't get shot. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I mean that I don't know where that was. That happens in Florida. Most likely, he's not leaving that parking lot.
Well, no, what's crazy, and this is Massachusetts, but what's crazy is you think about this. I don't know if they wanted to take immediate action because there is a surrounding area. The car is a deadly weapon. They have to be careful before they use lethal force and maybe try to find some other way. But I mean, clearly he's creating a danger.
Oh, he had no concern. He was like, "You better get out of my way because I'm reversing and I'm going to hit it. And if a cop is in the way, so be it." But I think that just spiraled fast. As soon as he knew it was a game over, he's like you said, Grand Theft Auto style. He went 5 stars real quick.
Yes, that's a good point. So according to court documents, there was this short chase before Yoza crashed the car. It took multiple officers to take him into custody, and an officer and 2 firefighters had to ride in the back of the ambulance to help him on his way to a hospital for evaluation. At least 3 police cruisers were damaged during this event, and he was charged with several crimes, including 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 3 counts of malicious damage to a motor vehicle, and disorderly conduct. He entered a not guilty plea, was held without bail. We weren't able to find an update on his next court date. But by the way, can police sue him for that?
They could go after him. I mean, there's different things, and they are doing their job duties, there's work comp, things like that nature. If a police officer gets hurt on the job, there's definitely claims available to him.
By the way, how do you fight against surveillance footage or body cam footage? I mean, is there a way to say, for A, not have it be admissible at a trial, or B, say it doesn't look what it purports to show?
Yeah, I mean, it's the gold standard, really. We obviously deal more and more on tons with premise liability cases, slip and fall cases. I mean, sometimes we have clients, they say something happened one way, and we pull the video, and we're like, case over. We're not going any further. It is what it is. And they try to, oh no, it's the angle, or you didn't see the corner. But I mean, it is what, you're seeing what it is. I mean, obviously sometimes it could be like a slip and fall case. If it's a clear liquid, you might not see it on camera. But if you see someone reversing into 5 cruisers.
Multiple angles. All right, so when it comes to assault on an officer and damage to a police vehicle, let's now talk about 35-year-old Courtney Morey in Michigan, because this individual might give the last suspect a run for his money. In August of 2024, a Michigan state trooper responding to a call about a domestic incident found a woman crying by the side of the road. And the trooper spoke with Courtney Morey for a minute or two and then headed up the road to a home to get the other person's side of the story. And the other person appeared to have some injuries to his face, but didn't really want medical attention. So when the trooper told an already distressed Morey that she was under arrest for assault, I think you can imagine what happened. Things escalated quickly.
Okay, he gets away with what he did, okay.
You have anything in your purse? Okay. Any weapons, anything?
No.
All right, I'm going to have to take a look at it real quick, okay? Okay, you can't...
So do that. Leave it here on the side of the road?
I don't know. That's up to you.
What am I supposed to do? Shove it on my sideways?
They're gonna toss it at the jail, so.
Oh, whatever. Yes. All my thrown away and I get
711, 712, status check.
Yeah,
I'm trying to work.
Soon, you might.
Are you gonna toss the?
Where? What am I supposed to do?
Toss it in
Lose all
here.
my
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Unless
Thanks,
you want to
bitch.
see if you can leave it with them.
No! They
Courtney? Alright, put your hands behind your back.
Now you're gonna force me.
Yep. Put your hands behind your
Shit,
back.
wait. I will get in the car.
Courtney, put the bag down.
I'm not leaving my stuff. Not leaving my stuff.
Put the bag on the ground.
Not leaving my stuff.
I didn't
you
say
can't make me leave my stuff.
I'm not gonna make you leave it.
Yeah,
You're
you do.
Courtney,
You better me too.
don't.
Get away
Put
from
it down.
me.
Again, you know, you think about what the officers go through day in and day out, but this is a really like distressing, upsetting situation in your practice. Do you see disputes between people in a family environment, a domestic dispute, as a cause for a lot of the things you see?
We've definitely seen it where things spill over quickly. Things can escalate when it's the family. I feel like it's kind of a whole different, you know, dynamic inside of a family house where they don't think police are going to get involved. They don't think this is going to happen. But yeah, definitely there's times where it kind of bubbles over and it explodes, unfortunately.
So let's go back here. Fortunately, another trooper arrives with a trainee and is able to help get Miss Moore under control. And during the struggle to get her into handcuffs, she allegedly bites down hard on the first trooper's arm.
And you're doing this to me? What's your name? I'm gonna sue pants off you. Give me your arm. I'm gonna sue you. No, wait! You can't touch me. I'm suing you. I'm suing you so bad.
So the police cruiser doesn't have what's called a cage in it to transport Maury, so the trooper loads her into the front seat, strapping her in with a seatbelt. And then he checks on his fellow trooper, who heads back down the dirt driveway to the home to return some of the items.
You think she's gonna spit on you and kick your things?
I think she might. I'm gonna take this back to them real quick.
Now, as the trooper reaches the end of the long driveway and hands over some of the things, there is this interesting call out on her radio.
I'll hold on to that.
6415, we're in pursuit of a patrol car. 6415 pursuing a patrol car, direction of travel.
Why all the excitement? You okay?
Huh?
You
okay?
Yeah, she just didn't want to go.
Okay, so suddenly the trooper realizes that's her patrol car that they're in pursuit of. Footage from the other responding officers shows what happened as he and the trainee waited for the first trooper to come back.
I'll get a better look at it when she comes back out here, but Robert's got a pretty good bite. 6415, we're in pursuit of a patrol car.
6415 pursuing a patrol car, direction of travel.
Westbound, coming up to Moreland.
Okay, so Maury leads the troopers on a chase for several minutes, and there's a screenshot from an interior dash cam that shows her behind the wheel. So she eventually pulls off into a wooden area, but was forced to stop when she drove into this swampy area, really couldn't go anywhere else.
Continuing into the woods. Keep going.
Cover. Continuing into the woods, there's a creek that crosses.
We're gonna be down by the creek. Vehicle stopped.
Vehicle down near the creek.
Behind your back.
He is
remember I mentioned Grand Theft Auto? I mean, that's exactly what we're dealing with here. What do you make of that?
I want to know what's going through these people's head, how they think they're gonna, get away with everything, unless they're just gonna go on the lam the rest of their life or move to Mexico or something. And then she knows that they're at her relative's house. They know who the person is. They know all the information. They know they put her in the car, and then she just thinks I'm gonna drive away, and then they're gonna forget about me, and this is all gonna go away tomorrow. But again, I mean, first, again, I said it before, but you're dealing with 40. I don't know how old she is. I think other things have contributed to the appearance of her age, but you got a 40-year-old or so that's acting like a 3 or 4-year-old. It's this entitlement culture of, you're not telling me what to do, I'm telling you what to do, and if you do arrest me, well, guess what? I'm taking your car and I'm out of here. I do think there is, I don't know how the handcuffs got off her, if they never got to put them on her, put her in the front seat. I think there's a lot of things the cops probably had to go back in training and get debriefed from their chief or their sergeant of what's going on here, guys. How is she driving your car away? Why didn't she? Who put her in the front seat? Who's leaving to go back? So I mean, I think it was a failure of on both ways, but obviously she's the one that made the failure possible.
And look, I think a lot of it's anger directed towards law enforcement. And you saw that earlier with the other videos as well. This anger directed to whatever's going on in their lives, and the officers are at the brunt of it.
Oh yeah. We see it all the time. We see officers get it. I see it in court when we have our cattle call hearings of a judge saying something to a defendant or someone, and then being like, no, or you're wrong, or I'm not listening to you. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to go to the court hearing. I'm not doing that. And they find out very quickly that, well, there are repercussions for that. You'll be in a jail cell.
Yeah. So she refused, by the way, to walk. So multiple officers had to carry her up a long hill to a patrol car. This time the patrol car had a cage. She was arrested, charged with 4 felonies, including auto theft, assaulting a police officer, and at last check, her case was still moving through the Michigan Circuit Court system. So, by the way, if an officer is injured on the job like this, can they be compensated?
Absolutely.
How does it work?
It'd be a workers' compensation type claim. Obviously, different states have different things set up with the police departments, but it would be kind of the same way of if, say an accountant slipped and fell at the copy machine, unfortunately, that's part of his job duties. It's part of the cop's job duties. Yeah. You would file the claim. They have their health insurance. They go through the proper things, and then if there was some type of permanency done, they would get a financial compensation as well.
All right, so now I want to go to another one. We have this wild one down in Florida where a teenager was arrested after deputies in Palm Coast say they spotted a stolen Ferrari on I-95. Yeah, so investigators say 19-year-old Jonathan Costa was involved in an armed home invasion all the way up in Rhode Island. He and an accomplice allegedly took the Ferrari with them when they left. Kind of a nice parting gift, right? So when Costa realized that police were onto him, he apparently leads them on this high-speed chase, evidently no regard for the safety of others. There is a traffic camera that caught him speeding through a red light, narrowly missing a pickup truck. According to vehicle specifications, the $300,000 Ferrari is capable of reaching speeds of 200 miles per hour. So eventually, deputies weren't able to keep pace safely enough to keep up the chase. But there was a police helicopter kept flying overhead. You can't escape that. And the chopper helped deputies find the car in a residential area. It was parked outside of a home. And this individual came out of the house. He was arrested. Dan, when you speed your Ferrari, it's at least yours, right? It's not stolen.
I wish. One day in the future, when I speed my Ferrari, I got to get there first.
I mean, what I don't think they realize, it goes back to this larger conversation, that you can't really run away from police. I mean, sure, there's instances where people are on the lam, there's manhunts, but trying to escape in a car, you might be able to run away from police in a Ferrari, but the helicopter, surveillance cameras, there's only so far you can go.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Once the chopper's on you, game over for the most part, unless you'll see people go in the swamp and get underwater or jump in a lake and things like that. For the most part, once the chopper's on, it's game over. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to take a getaway car from a house, maybe go with the Ford Taurus, if you'll make it a little more undercover instead of the Ferrari and speeding down 95. I mean, you got from Rhode Island all the way to Florida, so he at least had a good time in between.
True, it's a great car. I will tell you, look, deputies, they wanted to know if his accomplice, or alleged accomplice, Logan Slezak, is nearby, and let's see how that interaction went.
Got anything on you? Got a knife or a gun? Nothing on me. You want to take my report? What's your name? Ron. He's advising his name is Jonathan Costa.
Jonathan Costa and Logan.
Where's Logan? He's not here. I have no idea where'd you drop him off at?
Escort that subject back. Ready to put him in your vehicle.
He's not here. He's not in Florida.
All right,
Sam, what's gonna say? Escort him back. Let's go.
So it turns out his alleged accomplice, friend Slezak, was back up in Rhode Island. He was arrested there. According to Rhode Island police, a couple called back in 2023 saying that two masked men had gotten into their home through an unlocked door, demanded keys to the family's Chevy Corvette and Ferrari Spider 488. And investigators say it seemed that the young men had an intimate knowledge of the house as well as the family's cars. The Corvette, though, wasn't parked on the property, so the suspects, just took the Ferrari again. Consolation prize. And again, it was later spotted in Connecticut, and the woman who lived there said she'd seen her nephew, Mr. Costa, driving it. So months after the theft, in September of 2024, Florida deputies say they stopped this potentially dangerous home invasion suspect, and Costa now faces charges in both Rhode Island and Florida. By the way, I was going to ask you about if someone takes out a car, is driving erratically, they'd be responsible legally for the property damage they cause. But what about like negligent or intentional infliction of emotional distress? I was thinking about the case, and if someone's driving past somebody, almost hits them, or drives by a crowd of people who are on the sidewalk, do they have a claim of action against someone like that? Have you ever seen a case like that?
Again, in theory, and if I'm back in law school and I'm writing the final essay, absolutely. It's another charge. It's another, at least criminally, but at least civilly as well. It's definitely a charge. Now, how are you going to make Mr. Costa pay all those people on 95? Those damages. What's he have? Most likely nothing. He's got someone else's car and most likely other belongings. So for those people to bring a case against him and go through the whole process of most likely what's going to end up happening is they end up getting nothing. Now, if Bill Gates is driving down sidewalks and trying to scare people and moving around like he might be in some trouble. But Mr. Costa probably, due to his economic status, isn't going to have those civil suits against him.
All right, I want to move on because we know that law enforcement doesn't always get it right. In fact, Dan and I did a whole episode on that. And there is this dramatic footage from Arizona that shows the moment that federal U.S. Marshals pulled up to a Phoenix home, ended up arresting the wrong woman.
Police, don't move! Hands up! Hands up! Turn around. Turn away from the sound of my voice. You have an arrest warrant. Turn away from the sound of my voice. Me? Yes, for you.
Who am I?
Turn
away.
Turn around. We'll discuss it.
Turn away. You're going to get hit.
You want to confirm who I am?
Put your hands behind your back. We'll discuss this later. Turn around and face away from me. Stop moving and stop looking back. Stop looking back!
Can you prove you're the police?
Ma'am, you see that we're the police.
How do I see that?
Ma'am, you're gonna get, if you turn around again, you're gonna get tased. Understand me? Yeah, come on.
Thank you. Can I, if you're gonna take me somewhere, can I, there's no one in there but the dog. Can I, fix him? If you're gonna take me somewhere, can I fix my dog? Okay. Thank you. Hey, do you know who I am?
Yes, well, you're going to step around.
Who are I?
Carol Rozak.
That's not who I am.
Penny McCarthy.
Yes.
Yes.
But I've never been Carol Rozak. I can prove who I am.
Okay.
Yeah, the woman being arrested is named Penny McCarthy, not Carol Ann Rozak, and that's who the marshals were actually looking for. Rozak was wanted for a parole violation out of Oklahoma. She'd served prison time for nonviolent crimes, but when she was released from federal custody, she didn't show up to any of her meetings with the probation officer, and that's where the marshals came in. So the federal prosecutor in the case says that the arrest was based on information from the probation office in Oklahoma, including Facebook posts and some aliases. And there was also reportedly a glitch in the fingerprinting system when officers took McCarthy into custody that made it appear that her fingerprints and Rozak's were a match. Now, a judge had ordered that McCarthy had to go through an identity hearing where she would prove who she really was, but the hearing was dropped when it became clear there was a huge mistake here. Now, McCarthy's attorneys say that her arrest was way too over the top, it was aggressive, that she should have been given the opportunity to prove her identity right then and there. So does she have a legal case against the government there?
I like it. You
Yeah.
know, I was sitting here in this chair today just hearing kind of the high level stuff. It definitely seemed, when I kind of saw the video, you kind of preempted it that was the wrong person, but as soon as I saw that big gun pointed out, I was like, uh-oh, you're showing a little too much force, especially for a nonviolent parole violation where you could have stopped her, got the ID, gone through the process, figured it out, instead of just assuming she's on, you know, Osama bin Laden type level and having guns drawn and telling her not to look around and not giving her an opportunity to. She kind of knew from the get-go too. She was like, "Do you know who I?" And
She was polite.
Yeah,
she was polite.
Exactly. We've talked in the past about people kind of doing the wrong thing and being defiant, and you got the wrong person, and that thing how spins out of control or makes the case a lot more messy. She did it by the book. Okay, sorry, I think you're the wrong person. I'm just trying to make sure you guys are the police, because nowadays too we see, you know, we're the police impersonations. The next thing you know, you're getting robbed or car stolen or whatever else. Now she's like, "Can you just prove you're the police?" They walked around, they show her. She's like, "Fine, can I put my dog back?" "No, if you take me somewhere," she already knows the gig's up. "Let me help my dog." She did it by the book. But yeah, I think she has a pretty strong case there, I would say, in my opinion.
Wild police encounters, and who better to break it down with than Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Good seeing you, sir. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
And that is all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. Speak to you next time.